If you are over the mass hysteria, if you're over politicizing and weaponizing of the coronavirus, you are not alone.
I think that it's being totally blown out of proportion.
The national left-wing media playing up fears of the coronavirus.
I feel like the more I learn about this, the less there is to worry about.
I was about to say the same thing.
Everybody has gone totally crazy about it. You need to conduct your life normally.
I'm not afraid of the coronavirus, and no one else should be that afraid either.
It's a great time to just go out, go to a local restaurant.
Yeah.
Likely you can get in easily.
At worst case scenario, it could be the flu.
Call me crazy, but I am far more concerned with stepping on a used heroin needle than I am getting the coronavirus.
You know, we have thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that get better just by, sitting around and even going to work. Some of them go to work, but they get better.
I think we've got to be very real with the American people. I don't like how we are scaring people unnecessarily.
All the talk about coronavirus being so much more deadly doesn't reflect reality. Without a vaccine, the flu would be far more deadly.
To close down a whole building or a whole block or a whole concert or a whole school is a vast overreaction.
Even when there's an infected person amongst thousands and thousands, in our case over 10,000 people, it is very, very difficult to contract this virus.
I think that we're blowing this one out of proportion. I'm a little disturbed that I think some of it is being politically driven. I think that, and that bothers me that we're scaring people for political reasons.
The fear is so out of proportion to the medical risk right now that that's what's choking down the economy. That's going to continue.
They're scaring the living hell out of people, and I see it again as like, oh, let's bludgeon Trump with this new hoax.
One person gets the virus, and everybody who works in an office building told to stay home.
That's an overreaction.
That's an overreaction?
That's an overreaction.
We've shut down all the schools, all the restaurants, and all the bars. That doesn't pass the smell test with me.
In your state, there have been 18 cases of COVID-19. 2 people, sadly, have died, but both of those residents were elderly and had traveled internationally. So when you hear the context, it's not quite as scary.
This is a psychological problem. I was on a flight from Toronto to D.C. 2 days ago. The flight was 1/3 full. How many cases do you have in Canada? 2, 3? I think people are grossly overreacting to this.
It's actually the safest time to fly. Everyone I know that's flying right now, terminals are pretty much dead, ghost towns. And then the planes, remember back in the day when you had a seat next to you possibly empty, you could stretch out a little more? It's like that on every flight now.
We have to be better safe than sorry. And you know what? That's the strategy of losers, not the strategy of winners. So now we're judging everything on better safe than sorry. Now, a coach would be fired for that line of, a CEO would be fired for that line of thinking. Why are we going down that line with our country? This isn't my America anymore.
Last week, Broadway attendance went up. Last week, movie receipts were normal. We don't need to talk ourselves into a recession or let anyone else with ulterior motives talk us into a recession.
Obviously, there's speculation it could get worse. Some say, like the president, it could miraculously disappear.
It's not the virus that's hurting the economy. It is the fear of the virus. People, in my opinion, are overreacting. I'm not saying this isn't serious, but this idea, Bill, that every sports event is going to get canceled and people can't gather, for dinner and you can't go out and everybody's going to hibernate in their caves, that's ridiculous.
They've got to stay home for 2 weeks. I'm saying, wait a minute, the whole city of Seattle, they have like 20 cases. It's a vast overreaction.
I think that this is going to come and it's going to go. I think that we have it under control. I think that President Trump's task force is magnificent.
It was quick, too.
I think it's very important for the American public to understand that our president and his administration, President Trump, has taken unprecedented steps and measures to contain this virus. We have it under control. It's contained. We have the resources to keep it contained.
What he's doing right now, from the standpoint of history, is almost perfect. It looks like he was born for this moment.
And congratulations to you, to the administration, to the president for what you are doing, because within this country, it seems to be under control and every safeguard taken.
Excuse me, show me the mess.
Yeah.
I don't see any deaths. I see a good, strong containment effort.
Your numbers are absolutely perfect, and I think that's actually where we're going to net out. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
It's just strange to me how so many are overreacting. And it makes you wonder if there's a political reason for that. It's impeachment didn't work, and the Mueller report didn't work, and
Article 25 didn't work, and so maybe now this is their next attempt to get Trump.
If I'm an employer and I say to my employees, you got to travel, you got to get out there, you got to go there, you got to go here, you got to go there, and they get it, or they end up in quarantine, I smell a lawsuit. That's the problem, isn't it?
The hate is boiling over, many in the liberal media using, and I mean using, coronavirus in an attempt to demonize and destroy the president.
I can't believe I'm on national television saying that Democrats are cheering for a virus because they hate Donald Trump so much. Well, and that's what it is.
And the facts are actually pretty reassuring, but you never know it watching all this stuff. Now, while the number of infected persons is more than 650 now, the death toll has increased to 26. The risk to the average person does remain quite low.
And that is that unless you have an immune system that's compromised and you are older and you have other underlying health issues, you are not going to die 99% from this virus, correct?
That's correct, John.
This is a contagious virus. We're concerned about it. We don't have a vaccine for it. But there's no reason to believe that it's actually more problematic or deadly than influenza.
Fair answer.